You asked me about my faith before becoming a Christian, and I was a faithless man. When I lived a life of sin, when I was in the midst of my alcoholism, there was no spiritual growth. It was a life. It was an empty life of depravity, seeking fulfillment in people, places, and things, and alcohol and drugs. And this was a life filled with sin and unhappiness. And through a process, I think God just called me closer and closer to Him, and worked through the prejudice I've had against spirituality and against God. My fears and expectations about going to Honduras, I didn't know what to expect. On the medical side of things, I had some idea of what was going on there, but I didn't know what to expect. My fears were that I was going to be going with a bunch of holy rollers. I guess I had some apprehensions that I was getting in over my head, and once I got there, I had the feeling of, oh my goodness, what did I get myself into? But everybody was so nice and so accepting there. So what happened down in Honduras that led me to make this decision to follow Christ was I continued the process that I'd been following my work with the flood victim. I started going to church to process what it meant to be a Christian. I felt like God put the question squarely in front of me: do you want to be a Christian? And what does it mean to be a Christian? So I continued that process in Honduras. You and I talked a lot. We talked about stereotypes about Christianity and what it means to be a Christian and what Christians are truly like. Years and years of feeling this question in front of me, that it was time to make that decision. And I decided that I wanted to become a Christian at that point. And I felt very secure in making that decision. And it was a pretty powerful moment. I didn't want to make this decision lightly. If I made this decision, it was going to be I was going to be all in for this. So that's what I did. What happened the day after? Well, I was given the opportunity to tell the group about my decision. So I stood in front of them and told them about my process, a little bit more about myself, that this has been an ongoing process, that I feel like God's been calling me to Him bit by bit over the years, and that this was a culmination of a decades-long process where I couldn't even talk about God without getting angry and defensive and intellectual, and to the point where I could believe Him just a little bit. Then I had a personal relationship with Him. Then I was claiming to be a Christ follower. This is an amazing transformation for this agnostic person. It's remarkable to me. I'm still kind of stunned that this has happened for me, because I'm a diehard agnostic and feel real comfortable talking intellectually about God and Jesus, and to come from a place of agnosticism and scoffing at Christians in Christ, and just being real fearful about it, to actually calling myself a Christian it's just amazing to me. I'm still kind of stunned about it. I need to worry about things in life. I'm less anxious about the things where I'm not quite living up to what I think would be Jesus' standards, because I understand that I'm forgiven. I understand that He knows I'm going to sin. I know I'm going to fall short of the mark, but I understand that I'm forgiven. And so I'm less anxious about trying to control my behaviors, and I trust God more.